Why can't your parents buy a house even though they work really hard? Why are so many families struggling to find homes? Today, we're explaining the U.S. housing crisis like you're 5 years old. No complicated words, just simple answers that finally make sense. Let's discover what's really happening with America's homes. Imagine you're in kindergarten and it's snack time. Your teacher brings out a box with only 10 cookies, but there are 30 kids in your class. What happens? Everyone wants a cookie, but there aren't enough. Kids start offering their toys, their lunch money, anything to get one of those cookies. The price of cookies goes way up because there just aren't enough to go around. That's exactly what's happening with houses in America right now. Think of houses like those cookies. Millions of families want to buy homes, but there simply aren't enough houses for everyone. When lots of people want something and there isn't much of it, the price goes up, 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 just like those cookies everyone wanted. Let me tell you a story about why this happened. A long time ago, about 15 years ago, something bad happened with houses in America. Grown-ups call it the housing crash. Imagine if someone built a huge tower of blocks and it fell down. Everyone got scared of building block towers again. That's what happened with building houses. Companies that used to build lots of new homes got scared and stopped building as many. But here's the problem. People kept having babies. Those babies grew up. And when you grow up, you eventually want your own house, right? You don't want to live with your parents forever. So every year, more and more people needed homes, but builders weren't making enough new houses to keep up. It's like if your toy box could only hold 20 toys, but you kept getting 5 new toys every birthday. Eventually, you'd run out of space and toys would be everywhere. America ran out of space in its housing toy box.
Now, let's talk about another problem. Interest rates. Imagine your friend says, "I'll lend you $5, but you have to give me back $6 next week." That extra dollar is like interest. It's what you pay to borrow money. When people buy houses, they usually borrow money from banks because houses cost a lot, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. In 2020 and 2021, banks were lending money super cheap. It was like your friend saying, "I'll lend you $5 and you only have to give me back $5.05. Amazing deal, right? So tons of people borrowed money and bought houses. But remember, there weren't many houses available. When everyone wants the same few houses, prices go crazy high. A house that used to cost $200,000 suddenly cost $300,000 or even $400,000. Then in 2022 and 2023, something changed. The grown-ups in charge of money, the Federal Reserve, made interest rates go way up. Now, instead of that 5-cent extra, people had to pay back an extra $2. Borrowing money got expensive, and buying houses became really, really hard. Here's where it gets tricky. People who already owned homes and had those cheap loans didn't want to sell. Why would they? They had a great deal. If they sold their house and bought a new one, they'd have to get a new expensive loan. It's like having a golden ticket to cheap ice cream. You wouldn't give it up, would you? So now we have even fewer houses for sale because people don't want to move. It's the cookie problem times 100. Let's add another ingredient to this complicated recipe: where people want to live. Imagine if everyone in your school wanted to sit at the same lunch table. You can't all fit, so what happens? Some kids don't get a seat. Cities like Austin, Nashville, Phoenix, and Boise became super popular. Lots of people moved there for jobs or nicer weather. But these cities didn't have enough houses ready. Building new houses takes time, like you can't grow a tree overnight. You need land, workers, materials, and months of construction. And speaking of building, there's another problem. We don't have enough construction workers. It's like your teacher asked the class to build a Lego city, but only 5 kids knew how to build with Lego. The city would take forever to finish. America needs more people who know how to build houses, but there aren't enough of them.
The materials to build houses also got more expensive. Remember when everyone was staying home during COVID-19? Factories slowed down, ships got stuck at ports, and lumber, the wood used to build houses, became super expensive. Even though some prices came back down, building a house still costs way more than it used to. Now, let's talk about rent. If you can't buy a house, you rent one, right? But when everyone who can't buy starts renting instead, rental prices go up too. Landlords see that tons of people need places to live, so they charge more. In 2024 and into 2025, average rents in many cities are higher than they've ever been. Families are spending half their paychecks just on rent. Young people, millennials and Gen Z, are especially stuck. They're trying to save money for a down payment, which is like a big chunk of money you need up front to buy a house. But if rent is eating up all their money, how can they save? It's like trying to save your allowance when you have to spend it all on school supplies. Some states are trying to help. California, Oregon, and Minnesota are changing rules to let builders construct more homes faster. It's like if your teacher said, "Okay, we're letting more kids help build the Lego city so it gets done quicker." The federal government is also trying new ideas. They're talking about giving first-time homebuyers money to help with down payments and offering tax breaks to builders who create affordable homes. Think of it like your parents giving you extra allowance to help you buy something important.
So, what's the simple answer to the U.S. housing crisis? There aren't enough houses for everyone who wants one, building new ones is slow and expensive, and the cost of borrowing money to buy homes went way up. It's a perfect storm, like when everything goes wrong at once. But here's the good news. People are working on solutions. More houses are being built every year, and rules are changing to make building easier and faster. It won't fix overnight. Remember, you can't grow that tree instantly, but things are slowly getting better. The housing affordability crisis affects real families, real kids, and real communities. Understanding it is the first step to fixing it. If you found this explanation helpful, subscribe to our channel for more complex topics explained simply. Drop a comment below. Do you think America will solve its housing shortage? Let's keep this conversation going. Hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to understand the housing market better. The U.S. housing crisis explained like you're 5, it's about too many people wanting too few houses and everyone trying to figure out how to bake enough cookies for the whole class.